Because I get quite a few questions about what's the difference between a Buka, a rectangular fighter kite, and a diamond-shaped fighter kite, and which is better. I also get the question, which is easier to make? A rectangular Buka or a diamond-shaped kite like that? I'm going to do a series of videos to explain those differences and in some detail, plus give you a tip or two about dealing with the trickiest parts of making a Buka or a diamond-shaped kite. It's not going to be something where we go through the entire kite making process, but there are a few areas that during construction are very tricky if you've never done it before. And I'm going to go through those and give you some pointers about at least how I deal with it, and I try to do it in the simplistic way that works good. So you can modify it or use it as you see it, whichever. So that's what's going to be coming. But right now, I want to answer the most frequently asked question that I have recently received. Which is the better kite, a rectangular Buka or a diamond-shaped kite? Which flies better? Which is a better performing kite? Well, they're equal. Yeah, they are. By equal, I do not mean they fly in the same way as each other, a Buka and a diamond. They do fly differently, very differently. However, what makes a Buka fly so well and the things that it can do that's better than a diamond, if those characteristics of flight appeal to you as a kite flyer, you're going to really like flying a Buka. And if you like the flight characteristics of a Buka better than you do a diamond kite, you're going to say that the Buka is a better flying kite. And just the opposite for those who want the characteristics of a diamond-shaped kite. Once they fly that, they're going to compare that to a Buka. They're going to say, oh, I like this one better, therefore it is better. It's better for them. And that's the important thing. And with fighter kites, often it is ignored, the issue between the flyer and the kite. It's very, very easy to get kind of locked into a very narrow way of thinking about these kites because they are so simplistic, really. I mean, a diamond-shaped kite has a bow and a spine and a sail, and you can add battens and so on. And on a Buka, it's got 2 crossbars, a spine, and a leading edge spar. And it's rectangular, it's got no curves in it, it's simple. So it's easy to get locked into the notion that the appearance of simplicity means that it's easy to determine which one is best. Because you cannot do that. I cannot do that for you. I can do it for me. You can do it for you. But what it takes is not for me here telling you, or for you reading somewhere, or for somebody else telling you about it. That'll never allow you to make the decision you need to make. You have to fly the kite. You have to fly a diamond kite and get used to flying it. Fly a Buka kite, get used to flying it, and then decide for yourself which one you like best. The flight characteristics of a diamond kite appear to be, we'll start with this, they appear to be relatively easy to define, but they aren't. Unlike a Buka, a diamond kite has two fundamental shapes to it. One is that the kite has a straight leading edge from the nose to the wingtip. This kite does not have a straight leading edge. As you can see, there's a gap right here. This creates what is called a shoulder. This shoulder in a diamond kite is very, very important. And it makes a huge difference in the way the kite flies compared with having the leading edge completely straight. The differences are basically that a kite with a straight leading edge like this, along this ruler line here, is going to fly slower, have a slower forward speed. It will fly very, very well and will be very easy to fly. It will not fly beyond the edge of the wind window very well. A kite with a shoulder like this will fly faster than a straight leading edge kite. It will also spin differently, and it will penetrate beyond the wind window edge much more effectively and go farther. In fact, in light wind, you can fly a kite of this shape all the way around you, 360 degrees. With a kite with a straight leading edge, it's very challenging to do. The other difference in a diamond that you have to take into consideration is battens. These little sticks here on the lower part of the sail. What these do is improve the forward speed a little bit, make it go a little bit faster. And the reason they do it is because they minimize the amount of fluttering that occurs in the sail material as the wind is pounding on the front side of the sail. And in doing so, it increases the speed of the kite a little and makes the kite fly more quietly. So those are the basic characteristics of a diamond-shaped fighter kite. Now, in a Buka, it doesn't have a differentiation with like a shoulder or no shoulder. All Bukas, whatever their dimension, and they can be any dimension, this one is 10 by 15, and this one is 16 by 10 3/4. They can be up to 3 feet by 5 feet. These are designs that are ancient Japanese designs that have been scaled down and modified for more modern materials and for shorter line flying. And these Bukas are really, really good flying kites. So a Buka, number one, the characteristics of it that are really different from a diamond is that the leading edge here must have a bend in it, which you create with a tension line that you put on the kite, and then you tighten the line so the kite shape is curved when you're flying it. It won't fly otherwise. So when this happens, the kite flies really well. One of the things it does, it spins in a rotational way like this. Most of the time, but that only occurs if you put the lower bridle connection at the center of the kite. Right here, this is where the lower bridle connection is on this kite. Now, if you don't want the spin to be rotational and very, very quick, then all you need to do is don't put the lower bridle connection at the center, drop it down 1.5 inches or 2, and put it lower on the spine. That will make the spin less quick and less rotational. It'll make it more of a small loop instead of a spin. So one characteristic of the Buka is that it spins really well. The other is when it comes out of a spin, it will go in a straight direction, tracking like a railroad train. It just tracks so straight for so long, it's unbelievable. Those are the two characteristics about a Buka that are really prominent and a little different from a diamond kite. But like a straight-edged diamond kite, one with a straight leading edge, when a Buka gets to the edge of the window, it is very challenging to get it to fly beyond that. And so that is one aspect of a Buka that is quite different from a diamond kite, especially one built with a shoulder here at the leading edge. And one other aspect of a Buka that has nothing to do with flying exactly, but it's a real interesting difference between it and a diamond kite. And a diamond kite in this case can be either a straight leading edge diamond kite or one with a shoulder. And that is when you ground the kite or the kite crashes, in a Buka, it's almost impossible to relaunch it from the ground. You must walk to the kite, wherever it is, pick it up, and relaunch it by hand. It will not relaunch by itself from the ground 99.9% of the time. You might get lucky once, but it's rare. On a diamond kite, either style of leading edge, when they're grounded, you can gently tug on the flying line and the wind will lift up part of the kite sail and it will allow it to flip over so that you can actually launch it from the ground. It takes a little practice. It's not something that's intuitive or all that simple, but most fighter kite flyers do it routinely. I mean, it's not complicated to do. It just takes a little practice. So that's one difference between the two. But as I said, they are equal. One is not better, one is not worse. Depends on you and your preferences. And your preferences may have partly to do with how you are going to fly the kite. Are you going to fly it by yourself? Are you going to fly it in competition? What kind of competition? And so on. Those all will have a role in your deciding which is your favorite. And whichever favorite you have, that's the perfect favorite to have.